Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And this is Bucky, and we're just a rowdy couple in love that loves reacting to some RWBY.
Yes, we do.
So this is the season finale, Volume 5, Episode 14. If you want all of our RWBY reactions, we got a playlist down below in the description of this video. And we have a link to Patreon, get early ad-free access as we continue our RWBY journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
It's
about
pretty
a month,
intense.
month ahead on our reactions on Patreon. Okay,
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. I know, I gotta get ready for it.
I know.
It's intense.
Back to the fairy tale, back to the show, back to the wall and there's nowhere to go. Hopeless and desperate, all past it first. Things looking bleak, yeah, they're bound to get worse.
Things looking bleak and they're bound to get worse.
Worse, yeah.
Helpless and told and there's nowhere to run.
Oh, thank God for Nora.
Mm-hmm. Yang versus her mother.
My money's on Yang. I don't know if it'll be this fight, but in the long run, my money's on Yang.
Ceasefire immediately!
Well, you put a spotlight on us. Guess we gotta.
Just try it.
Mm-hmm. They got slow to catch on. Good.
Thank you.
See, it's better to be a good guy.
I'm going to make you regret ever coming back.
More police are on their way, Adam. Huntsman too.
Still too afraid to face me on your own.
I'm here for Haven, not you.
Good.
There we go.
You are still afraid, and you should be. I've made powerful friends while you've been away.
Oh, yeah? Where?
Tell me, does Blake make all of her classmates fight for her?
Nah, it's a volunteer gig. I'm just saying, for someone who claims to have such great friends, there doesn't seem to be a lot of people here willing to fight for you.
True.
Yeah. Ready to go, son.
Mm-hmm.
You can try and make me regret coming here, Adam. But honestly, I've got more important things to deal with.
Nice.
Son, wait!
But he's getting away!
Don't let him get
We
away!
can take him!
More important things.
We can't. He wants to lure us away so he can pick us off. We need to protect the school and the people here. Besides,
That's smart.
now he can see what it feels like to run away. Thank you.
We all need help sometimes. I think there's a few people who could use yours.
Be careful.
No promises. You guys okay?
Surviving.
I don't know how that big guy's still standing. He recharges his aura faster than I've ever seen.
He's sheer willpower.
We just need to get him to his limit.
A tiny little shield blocked all that. Or buckler, whatever the hell. Oof. Oh, she's so bummed.
Yeah, Blake!
Yeah.
Are you hurt? No. I just remember you being more of the quiet one.
Not today.
Nice.
Well, what's the plan, Ruby?
There you go. Oh, somebody go get him.
You gotta be kidding me.
Dude, lay off the steroids.
I warned you, Yang. I gave you every opportunity to walk away from Crow and Oz. So you can believe me when I say this wasn't personal.
You opened the vault.
Thanks to the chaos you and your friends caused upstairs. I knew you could handle it. You're my daughter, after all.
Crow and Oz told me how the Maiden powers were transferred. The girl you found. She would have had to have trusted you if you were in her final thoughts. Cared about you a lot.
I'm sure they told you plenty, and you just sat and obeyed.
No. I'm starting to ask questions like you said. So tell me, what happened to the last Spring Maiden? Did she die in battle? Was it sickness?
What does it matter to you?
You just know if you're a
I
killer.
can already see the answer. It's all over your face. How could you?
She was scared when we found her. Weak. No matter how much training I put her through, she never learned. She wasn't cut out for this world. And with those powers, she would have been hunted her entire life. What I did
Wasn't personal.
it was mercy.
Which is it, Mom? Are you merciful? Or are you a survivor? Did you let me walk into that trap because you knew I could handle it? Or because it meant you could get what you wanted?
It's not that simple. You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through, the choices I've had to make.
You're right. I don't know you. I only know the Raven Dad told me about. She was troubled and complicated, but she fought for what she believed in, whether it was her team or her tribe. Did you kill her too?
I've stared death in the face over and over again, and every time I've spat in that face and survived because I'm strong enough to do what others won't.
Oh, shut
You're
up!
telling yourself that.
You don't know the first thing about strength. You turn your back on people. You run away when things get too hard. You put others in harm's way instead of yourself.
Way to go, Yang.
You might be powerful, but that doesn't make you strong.
Who do you think you are lecturing me? Standing there shaking like a scared little girl.
Yeah, I'm scared, but I'm still standing here.
Instead of running away like you would.
Because she
I'm
has
not
courage.
like you. I won't run, which is why you're going to give me the relic.
And why would I?
Because you're afraid of Salem! And if you thought having maiden powers put a target on your back, imagine what she'll do when she finds out you have a relic. She'll come after you with everything she has. Or she could come after me. And I'll be standing there, waiting for her.
King's such a badass.
Damn, Yang.
Salem is a coward. I mean,
You
Raven.
don't want to do this, Yang.
No, you don't want to.
Nope. But I'm gonna do it anyway.
And that's courage.
Yep. And strength.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Me too.
Get this.
Little bitch.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I was searching for the right words.
And where
Salem?
might you be going?
Your Grace. I was just looking for something.
To hide under.
Leonardo, do you have something you wish to tell me?
It was Cinder. She altered the plan. Huntsman showed up here. Crow. Several students. One with the silver eyes. The White Fang attack. It was stopped. I don't know that they'll be able to recover the relic. Your Grace, I can still be of assistance. If I leave now, I can avoid the authorities and come find you. I'll do whatever it takes.
I think you're dead, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Your Grace.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Actually, that was like the best thing he's ever done.
I'll do anything. I can't.
Because like for 1 second he had a spine.
Half a second.
Yep.
You know, I wanted our side to get you, but this is so much worse.
Blood. I just want to see blood.
Coward.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's enough! Just give up.
It's not over. Cinder will come back. She'll have the relic, and
Sure.
she'll stop all of you.
Okay.
She won't let us down.
Okay, sure.
Then wait for that to happen. Ha!
Who's got the relic now?
Who was that on the bottom with like the chains and lifting that up?
I don't know, I feel like it's a
Little
lore
statue.
video we have to watch.
Aww. Poor baby.
Meh.
I know. Everything you believed in, oh no.
Yeah, well,
Get up, we need to go.
No.
you chose poorly.
Yep.
Emerald.
What the hell is happening?
Oh shit.
Oh, shit is right.
That's how they escaped, because she summoned some scary ass shit.
What was that?
An illusion. But an accurate one. That was Salem.
Can't believe this little punk's still getting away. And him. Two twerps.
They'll get what's coming to them.
The police rounded up the remaining White Fang members. Haven is safe.
Unfortunately, it appears that Adam escaped.
It's okay. He was the only one to escape tonight. Those in the White Fang that followed him won't support a leader that abandons his people. He won't have their help after this.
Good.
He'll have no one at all. And the White Fang will be left divided.
We've been fighting amongst ourselves for too long. Perhaps it's time for a new brotherhood. A new family for Fauna's truly working towards a better world.
And they'll need a new leader.
Huh?
Ha!
What happened?
I don't know exactly. When I got down there, Cinder was gone. And Vernal was dead.
And Raven?
Gone.
Well,
didn't tell me
we're
the
all
truth.
glad you're still here, Firecracker.
Are you okay? I feel like I should be asking you guys. So, Blake, what are you doing here?
I was gonna ask you three the same thing.
That's a long story.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
That's all that matters. That we're all here together. Right?
You lost, you found, your hard to pin down.
Yeah.
I never know if you'll come through. Then you appear. Together we're here.
Somebody want to find Yang's arm though?
I saw it. In one shot, it was there, and then in the next shot, it wasn't actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But we did it, Oz. You okay?
I think it's
I'm
like
all right.
kid now.
Kid?
He's resting. Too much energy fighting.
Oh, hey, don't strain yourself.
No. He had a message. We must get the lamp to Atlas.
Get the lamp to Atlas, okay.
Poor kid's in shock.
He's just exhausted.
That too.
Maybe Robin Williams will come out of it.
Oh, that episode was way too quick.
Right?
Raven.
Visiting dad again, okay. Yep. Ooh, she wants to bang it out.
I don't think he does.
All right. So, great scene between Raven and Yang.
Yeah.
Yang is just, she needed to go through some growth, obviously, in season 4, and it was tough to get through that. But she needed to come out on the other side in this season, and especially in this whole episode. Like, she's my favorite character for this season by far. I thought that she just had like a lot of kick-ass moments, and then some heartfelt moments, and just her and Weiss have had like some tremendous growth as far as the two characters, I think, out of the foursome. Because Ruby's always kind of like pretty solid throughout, and then Blake's had her issues that she's had to like sort out or whatever, but she's always kind of had that like mysterious sort of like reclusive nature, and because of being a faunus and not knowing like who she can trust, and so but I feel like Yang, from being so confident and badass, and then like having that crush, and then coming back from that, really just loved her journey this season in particular. What'd you think?
I agree. I think Ruby's probably been the most solid and the constant. Not that she hasn't grown. She has, of course.
Yeah.
Her personality has stayed relatively the same. And her growth has really been more so in like development of her skills, and it's been in like the change in her as a person.
Yeah.
Weiss, Blake, and Yang, I feel like, have all gone through some pretty fundamental changes as people. But Yang definitely seems to have come the farthest, or had like the biggest arc. I think I'd probably put like Yang, Weiss, Blake, Ruby. I think back to Yang, and this was 2 seasons ago, maybe 3. Anyway, when like they go off to hunt the Grimm.
Mhm.
And like with Swy and Ruby, and like they're going through that abandoned town, and like Yang is all confident and she's got her whole life figured out. And she's asked, like, why do you want to be a huntress? And it's very clear that like sort of that question hadn't occurred to her before. And it was obviously just because, well, I'm a badass.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's the answer. And so to think of her being that person, which was a very attractive person to them. I mean, she was confident. She was in your face in like the right kind of way. She had some very impressive skill. Like you were attracted to her as a person. But then to see where she is now, and she's so much more dynamic and so much more interesting and deeper as a person as well, that she's just exponentially better. It did suck that she had to go through what she went through to get there, of course. But I don't know. Like, I don't think I'd trade anything just seeing who she is and where she's come out. I mean, that scene with Raven, to say like, you know, you shaking like a little girl and her say, yeah, I'm shaking. I'm scared, but I'm still standing here. That was so beautiful. Yang has courage in spades.
Yeah.
And that is so admirable. Fearlessness is not so admirable.
Yeah.
I mean, you can envy somebody who's fearless. You can be like, I wish I was fearless. You can envy that. But it's not admirable because it's a kind of stupid in a sense. Like, you should have things in your life that you're afraid of losing. You should have something that you're afraid of going without. Like, that means you have something of value in your life. So to be fearless means kind of like, I don't have anything of value. I don't really give a shit. Therefore, I have no reason to be afraid. Yang has a lot, and she knows it now. But she also knows it's worth fighting for. And that makes her heroic on a whole new level.
I also think the difference between like Yang and Weiss's character development is like Yang felt more like she was going on a journey and an arc, whereas like Weiss felt kind of like more like peeling back the layers in the onion. It's just like, all right, now I kind of like the more we got to know of Weiss, like I kind of understand why you are the way you were, you know, like, and yes, like she did have growth, and like she has come, like she has warmed up to people like more, and like trusted people more, and like not become so judgmental and everything that she was in the beginning. And like kind of like you start to see less and less of her father in her as she goes on, and like less and less of her upbringing, like in more I don't know if it's like forgiveness or leniency, like towards people, but just more acceptance of other people. And whereas like Yang, you know, she starts with confident, and then she like fell, and then she like came back. It's like we didn't really get too much like of her backstory that like that informed us. It was just kind of like the journey that we went on with her. Whereas Weiss, it was kind of a little bit of both. Like, but it was also a lot of, okay, we're getting more of her backstory. We're getting more of her dad and like who he was, and like how her mom like dealt with how her dad was a terrible person, and like why her sister is the way she was. So Weiss, it was just cool, like learning more about her over the years, and like over the seasons. I mean, and just really have enjoyed that, and getting to understand her more. So I've liked her. Like for Weiss, the journey is us. Like the journey is our opinion of Weiss. Like that's the journey, because like it starts low and like oh yeah, we don't like her because, you know, she's prickly and she's mean and she's like kind of like the ice queen, and then, you know, like it takes us up and down. It's like okay, she's starting to warm up, we like her a little bit more. I like that they brought in Salem here, and that she took out the Cowardly Lion, and we needed that because like I was thinking about it at the title sequence when we saw like Salem come up, and she was huge, which we see at the end of this one. That's kind of where like it finally comes through. I'm like, okay, they built up Salem, but they really haven't like shown her that much. They showed her a little bit in the beginning, but like they kind of like lost track of her. And I was wondering if they had like too many cooks in the kitchen, or too many
villains.
Yeah, like too many things going on. Whereas like too many villains. Like they got rid of Cinder, I guess they got rid of Cinder. I mean, I assume she's dead, but
yeah,
I need a little bit more confirmation on that and what happened, because like she was the Fall Maiden. So what happened to her power? Like who has that now?
Ooh, well, on that topic, that was a really interesting part of this because Yang said to her mom, like, so what happened to the prior Spring Maiden? Because if her power was transferred to you, like, she must have really cared about you. So, like, we keep getting these different hints as to who might have inherited the Fall Maiden's powers. Like, we know it could be the last person they ever saw who killed them. It could be the last person who's on their mind, and therefore somebody who they have a deep connection with or relationship with. And then from Yang's perspective, it's who they care the most about. Because you would assume that in your dying moments, you're going to think the most about the person you care the most about.
Yeah.
So who the hell does Cinder care about? I mean, these are all some pretty big questions, and we're ending the season without knowing where those powers went.
Well, I think in that vein, what was tipped towards the end of that was Emerald is someone that cared very much for Cinder.
Yes.
You know, you didn't see Mercury crying or like caring really that Cinder was gone, but you saw it from Emerald. And so I could see her transferring it to Emerald and being like, this is a gift to her.
That's assuming Emerald's feelings were reciprocated, though. That's assuming that Cinder cares enough about Emerald as Emerald cares about Cinder.
This is true. Like, and I mean, it might not be been as strong, but Cinder might have felt like, okay, this is a person that like has had my back and like really cared about me and like, and I've taken under my wing. So this is the person I want to gift it to. This is the person I've been trying to get more confidence in and make a stronger a person. Like, I just think we talked about narratively, like how if going to RWBY, it wouldn't be a great move. Even though it kind of makes sense, like, you know, she's so obsessed with RWBY and like, let's be the last person on our mind. But I think going to Emerald, like the fact that they saved Emerald and Mercury, I'm like, like those characters without Cinder are kind of worthless. You know, they were like her henchmen. They did their little bit in season 3, and we hated them for it. What they did, but they were like completely forgotten in season 4. And then now in this one, like they got a little bit more action, but like it still wasn't anything other than the fact that we wanted RWBY and Yang to kick their ass. Like they didn't really bring anything to the table. But there was a whole connection between Emerald and Cinder, and so what you had just said about, you know, it being who you care about. That's what jumped to my mind. Like I didn't think about it until you had said that.
Going back to what you were saying about Leonardo.
No, he's the Cowardly Lion. We do not call him Leonardo.
I am so glad that he got it from Salem. Yeah. Nobody would have been as vicious as Salem. And we had talked about in a prior episode, like, if he was actually the worst one in the room because he knew better and did it anyway and did it for self-serving purposes. And so, like, everybody else there's kind of the illusion to the fact that they believe in a cause. They have some sort of purpose for being there and they're part of a team and whatever. And you're right, I'm not going to call him Leonardo because that just is insulting. Cowardly piece of shit. He was there for himself and because he was a coward. And he knew better, and he did it anyway because of self-preservation and the fact that he believed in nothing greater than himself. And so for Salem to take him down, that was karma. That was karma at her finest. That was karma doing a beautiful recipe that just, that was great. And I loved it. And he deserved it, and I'm happy about it. With Weiss and Yang and Blake's entrance, I loved it. I loved that she started to fight with Adam. And then I loved how she and Sun were going at it together and Sun had her back. And then Adam wants to run off and Sun wants to go after him. And she goes, no.
Yeah.
There are more important things. He wants
I love that line
to be
her.
the most important thing in the world. And he's not.
Yeah.
And we don't need to go after him because of it. And I thought that was so wonderful because it showed us how much she has grown over the season from like this scared, self-loathing, guilt-ridden creature who just cannot stand to be around her friends and goes on this journey of like return to home, self-discovery, figure things out kind of mission, to now in this moment, Adam is not her nemesis. He's not a great villain. He is a little bitch and he's running away. And it's like, for her to be able to say there are more important things, just said everything that we needed to know about Blake's journey this season. Weiss, I have so much respect for because in our lives, like our family, our friends, the people who are in our closest orbit are such strong influencers over us. And so for Weiss to be surrounded by a family of really crappy people, and her brother sucks.
Yeah.
Her dad's an asshole. Her mom, we really haven't met, but it's alluded
Probably
to that
drunk,
she's
yeah.
drunk off somewhere all the time. So she's kind of absentee at best.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, I don't have my drink anymore, but yeah, exactly. At best she's absentee, and Winter ran away from home. And so like Winter seems to be the one that
She ran away from home. She's got a job and everything.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
she got old enough and she got
She got it. Yeah.
She was like, I'm not sticking around. This is awful. I don't blame her for that, but like she ran away. So like Weiss is really left on her own and she's surrounded by these terrible people. And for her to come out of that and really have formed her own independent person, to have seen the influences around her and have the wisdom and the maturity to go, I don't want to be like that. Like, sure, my dad is rich and powerful and he controls a huge part of this world and everything, but he sucks. Like, to have the knowledge to be able to distinguish that and to say, and I'm not going to be like that, especially at a young age. And like, they're not children, but they're not adults yet either. They're still young. I have so much respect for that. And she is really, despite the people around her, developed her own person in a really great way and a character that we admire. And she has incredible grace while she's kicking ass. And she's turned out to be a really amazing friend. And you would not have thought that any of that was possible with where she came from. And yet, despite all that, she's created that for herself. And I just freaking think that's amazing.
What I love what they did with Adam is that, they really did highlight what a bully is. And so, like, in the first few seasons, like, in his the Blake trailer and, season 3, when he does what he does to Blake and Yang, you hate him. He's intimidating. Like, it makes your blood boil.
Yes, he does.
And he just has such an effect on you. And then you get to, like, this season, and he's so pathetic, so whiny. And he is just someone that is like a little bitch that we called him. And he's like, all the power is sort of like stripped from him, and like all the he doesn't make my blood boil anymore.
No.
Like, yeah, I want him to go down or whatever. Like, and I want him to pay for what he did, but he's not intimidating. You're not like, he doesn't have that sort of presence that he had before. Yep. It's all been stripped to him. Like, that is really what a bully is, like, I mean, they're all bluster and they try to they get power by intimidating you and by, putting you down or whatever. But as soon as you stop caring and as soon as you see them for what they actually are, and they stop having their little posse behind them or whatever, then, they're nothing and they're pathetic. Like, Adam was so freaking pathetic these last few episodes. It was sad.
And all it took was one person to stand up to him.
Yep.
And then suddenly it stripped away all his power. And that is so true of bullies, right? Like, bullies thrive on the fact that people are too afraid to stand up to them. They thrive on their reputation, which protects them and insulates them in a sense. And so as soon as somebody stands up to them, and they're actually challenged, they actually have to try to back up this reputation that they've created for themselves, which they don't deserve, everything just falls away. I'm like, yeah, it's great to say that. And then, of course, like, if you're in middle school or high school and you have a bully that you are aware of, it's like, oh yeah, that's really easy to say. But like, if I stand up to this guy, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. This isn't to say that won't happen. This isn't to say that they won't be that way and be violent. But the point and the lesson to walk away from is that, like, that is all that they have. They are nothing else. And so, yeah, if you back them into a corner, they're kind of like a corner and caged animal, and they're going to try to, like, you know, defend themselves, live up to their reputation, whatever. But like, as soon as that's broken, whether it's standing up to them physically or verbally or whatever it is, like that thing shatters and then they're nothing. And that's what Adam was. Blake stood up to him and it shattered and he became nothing.
But see, I think also, you know, we like in this one, obviously, like, you know, it's a show about fighting and like, and, you know, kicking ass. And
I'm not advocating for violence.
Yeah, no, I know that. But like, what I thought was more powerful was when Blake said that like he didn't matter. And it's that's, she took away the power from him. That's where bullies get power from, is having an effect on you.
Yep.
And as soon as you stop caring what they think, and as soon as you just like, you know, she basically ignored him. Like he ran away and she's like, that's exactly what he wants. You know,
yep.
Not going to give him what he wants. Not going to play into this. Not going to, you know, engage with the bully. She basically just walked away. Yep. Like, you know, he ran away. Like let's, you know, let him do that whole thing. But like in a whole, like, you know, bully dynamic or whatever, like if a bully was like making fun of you or whatever, and you just walk away, you know, that's the bully's not going to get anything from that. Like, you know, because they're just like, they get it out of your fear and your pain and your anger. Like they feed off of that shit because that makes them feel important. They're like, I'm having an effect on somebody. Yep. As soon as they stop having an effect on somebody, then they turn into a whiny little bitch like Adam.
It's 100% true. I was really badly bullied in 6th grade by this girl at my school. And she started to say terrible things to me and I ignored her. And because that wasn't effective, she decided that she was going to follow me around and actually just start poking me and physically going at me.
What's her name? Where's her address?
To the point that she would sit behind me in the cafeteria in school and she would just poke me in the back for the entire lunch hour to try and get her eyes out of me. And it wasn't working. Now, of course, like, yeah, I felt like shit, but she didn't need to know that. And like, I didn't interact with her. I just ignored her. So she kept trying and trying until, because all bullies are stupid, she decided one day to send me death threats from a school computer in the school library.
Holy shit.
Well, school library computers are actually tracked. And so this came back to the principal. She was found out. And so we're both pulled into the principal's office because the principal wanted to ask me about it because, of course, like I hadn't reported anything. And so I said, yeah, this was happening. And she's in the other seat and she just starts breaking down sobbing. I was the one who was bullied. She's the one who's sobbing. And it's all because she was stripped away of all her power. This whole thing that she had done to feel more superior to me had not actually worked. And it made her feel a lot worse because what she was doing was actually pretty horrible. And just when you think of the Eleanor Roosevelt quote, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
Exactly.
So like, if you do not consent to let what they're doing impact you, if you're able to walk away from it and go like, hey, what you're doing is shit, but that means that you're shit. It doesn't mean that I'm shit. You're trying to make me feel that way, but I know I'm not. Then at the end of the day, that's all you need to know. It's really easy to say. It's really tough to do.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
but she walked the walk. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Wow, it's impressive.
Well, I don't know. I knew reacting to her was going to make me look worse and make the whole thing worse. But it was really effective. And I will say, like, that was 6th grade. That school was 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade was our middle school. She never messed with me again. And I literally didn't have to do anything. All of that is just to say, if you are dealing with a bully in your life, it's important to remember that kind of stuff. It's way easier to say, way tougher to do. Find a friend, find a family member, talk to a therapist, talk to your dog. I don't care who it is, but just remind yourself that, like, you are worth it. They are not.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And we're going to continue on with RWBY, obviously. We're going to do the Volume 5 soundtrack. And I don't think there's any World of Revenant episodes left. I think we've done all of them.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I don't think there's any more lore videos left. If there are, let us know down below in the comments. And if you want early ad-free access to our reactions, you can see season 6 because we're going to be a month ahead on Patreon. Check out the description of this video for a link to that. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for the season finale for Volume 5, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.